So, yes, feel free to have your cameras on. I love it. I love to see the energy, but also if it's better to have them off as you're like in this space where you're meditating and you don't want anyone watching you, that's also fine. Okay, so finding our place wherever you are, maybe you're sitting on a cushion, maybe you're on a couch, maybe you're even lying horizontally. I invite you to either dim your gaze or slowly close your eyes. This encourages the world of outer perception to be less potent in our minds and allows us to begin to move internally. Today's meditation and visualization is focused on the animist lens. This is the lens that understands that the earth is conscious, that humans are not the hierarchical ruler of an inanimate clockwork of universal randomized laws that simply move around, but instead that we humans are a small part of an intricate vessel of intelligence, and that all of those intelligences live inside us and outside of us and weave in and out of one another in an everlasting web of interrelationality. So we begin by finding the place where your body meets your cushion or the ground. Begin by noticing those little places where your joints and your bones make contact through the invisible force of gravity, letting those spots weigh deeply, letting those spots be heavy against the chair or the cushion where you rest. And I invite you to notice the place where air enters your body. Maybe that's the little space underneath your nostrils where you're bringing in oxygen into the vessels of your body that carry it throughout from limb to limb. And bring your attention to that place where the air enters and the air exits. With our first few pulses of breath, as we begin to direct them visually and imaginatively throughout our body, we first begin by interacting with the earth in relationship to it as the creatures that we ingest, the plant friends. So, embodying this energy, we take our first rhythmic inhales and move them down, down to the sacrum. Move those inhales through your body down to the place where you energetically felt your joints meeting the cushion through gravity, to that heavy place. And as we send each breath downward, we allow each inhale to push out a little bit of root, a root that extends from the base of our body into the mantle and the crust of the earth. And with each inhale, allowing those roots to extend a little bit deeper. And with each exhale, we allow small tendrils of the roots to expand outward and downward, finding little cracks in the rocks of the crust, finding little tributaries under the mantle of the earth, looking for sips of water. Notice if you want to go deeper or stop where you are with each of your exhales. Notice if you want to go wider or stop where you are. Notice which direction your root system wants to pulse into, drawing energy from the earth with each of your inhales and creating this visual of matter extending downward and outward with each of your exhales. With half of your human body grounded and rooted, as with the roots of a tree, we have stability and anchor for our upper half to stretch and soar and step into the different planes of visualization and understanding that we're going to step into. So allow yourself to keep those roots where they are. Allow them to pulse a little bit deeper if it ever feels like that's aching. Allow them to pulse a little bit wider if you're looking for more stability. And allow yourself to feel into this cyclical nature of inhalation and exhalation and its ability to root us deeper towards the core of the earth, drawing energy from the stability and massiveness and watery nature and fiery nature of the earth. So, leaving these roots where they are, we first begin by feeling into the different elements that are inside of us. This is a beautiful and simple and elemental animistic practice of understanding the complete lack of discernment between self and earth. That is the true nature of our existence here. So, with the roots in the ground and another eye on the breath, I invite us to first explore the world of water. Bringing into your imaginative eye, we feel into the internal landscape of the body, the way that the water molecules pulse through every heartbeat that we compel through our bodies. The blood in our veins is composed of water. The tributaries of veins that carry water throughout our body look like the tributaries flowing into large rivers, look like the roots of trees leading back to the source. Feel into the water that's carried through all of the big and little blood vessels moving throughout your body. With an eye on the ever eternally flowing interconnectedness, we feel that we are nothing without water. Our hearts cannot beat, our blood cannot flow. We can feel into the lubrication of our mouths, the moistness of our tongues that allow us to communicate and make sound and words with our mouths. These tongues, these mouths cannot make sound, cannot do their human thing without water. We greet the water in our mouths. Feeling into all the pockets of water and moisture that live within. And we notice and we thank the places in our body that allow us to move energy, the tears that come out of our eye ducts. This is the water of the earth moving through our body. Feeling and greeting the water in our body, we say, thank you, I see you, I notice you. Returning to the breath, returning to the roots, we recenter back to the feeling of existing in this body of interrelating elements. Notice the breath, notice the roots. Next, we greet the element of air in our bodies. Through each inhale, we bring in the exhale of the trees, of the plants, and with each exhale, we give back for the cycle to continue. We are not breathing in air that we created. We are not breathing out air that is wasted. With each inhale, we're part of a continuing, flowing cycle, one that doesn't end until the day that we die. We cycle with the trees, we cycle with the plants, we cycle with the chlorophyll. Every breath that you notice comes in through your lungs, in through your nose, in through your mouth. Each of these breaths is in reciprocity and in creation with the plantkin of this earth. We notice and we feel that we wouldn't live more than 10 minutes or so without these breaths, inhaling and exhaling, flowing through our body. Our body does this for us, and when we pay attention to it with gratitude, we tap into a cycle that was made by a greater intelligence. Notice each inhale and each exhale in the context of reciprocity with the plant kin, the chlorophyll kin, as you move through your breath cycles. And next, we greet fire. We felt the water inside us, we felt the air inside us. And now we notice the fire inside us. Notice the warmth and where it comes from in your body. Do you feel the warmth emanating from your core, moving quickly or slowly to your extremities? Where does this fire come from? Every molecule of energy we have in our body, this heat that we create, comes from the food that sustains us. Where does the food get its energy? From the plants. Where do the plants get its energy? From the sun. And the sun burns inside of us. The fire inside of us is from the sun, and we greet the heat in our bodies. Notice where your body is warm. Notice how the warmth moves as you inhale and as you exhale. And lastly, we greet the earth element inside our bodies, working in conjunction with water, in conjunction with air, in conjunction with fire. Every molecule of our bodies is constructed from recycled and reformatted ingredients from the earth. I invite you to feel your bones. Feel the way your bones rest and stack and hold your body up. Feel your flesh, the squishy, dense flesh that covers your fibers and your tissues. Every molecule of your body, all of this matter is created from the earth, from all that conspires to create food, from all that conspires within us to create bodies, from the food to hold our spirits. As we inhale, we breathe in to the dense matter that is our bodies that contain our spirits on this planet. There's not a single molecule of yours that hasn't been recycled through the earth. With our final inhales and exhales, I invite you to take some really big, juicy ones. Some really big cleansing breaths in through your nose, filling up your belly to its maximum capacity, and then releasing the breath like a thread through your lips. Big, fat inhale and a slow, gentle exhale, and repeating that 3 times. Allowing yourself to continue to root into the roots that you extended from your base into the earth. We feel into the elements that create us, that make us an eternal, undeniable, inextricable part of the earth, a creation of the earth. And we end today by calling in our 3 layers of helpers. We start with the first layer, which is calling in the element that speaks to you today, or calling in the element that you would like to show up a little bit more in your day or in your evening. So as you cycle through the feeling of earth, air, fire, and water, notice which of these elements is calling to you as someone you'd like for a little bit of backup, and offer them some of your attention, some of your will, and a lot of your gratitude as we call them into the space to act as one of your allies and your helpers. Welcome this element into your body, creating a soft, spacious spot for this element to make a home as we sit here together. In the next layer of helpers, we have our ancestors and the future ones. Into this space here tonight, I invite you to call in whatever healthy or well and vibrant ancestors may be knocking at the door. These are likely ancient ones who you have never met, These are likely ancient ones of whose name you do not know, but they are the people who come before you who have metabolized their time here on earth and are ready and eager to play a part of allyship. And here tonight, we call in the future ones who live in the stars and the galaxies who have not yet been born, but who bring to us and are waiting energetically with new and different ways of thinking, new and different ways of being. They call to us, asking us to prepare for them. And also, they collaborate with us, preparing us for the future. We welcome them here as helpers and collaborators tonight. And lastly, the third tier of helpers. And these three tiers are always available to you. And they're not listed in any order of relevance or magnitude. The third tier of helpers are your internal parts, the parts of you that are whole and healed and adult or elder. It doesn't matter what age you are. All of us have parts that are elder. All of us have parts that are adult. These are the parts of you that tend the young parts, tend the wounded parts, the parts of you that have energy not only to tend yourself, but to reach out to others and tend them as well. Feel into those parts and invite them into our space. And with that, I invite you to begin to very slowly come back to this shared relational space. Maybe first by wiggling your extremities, ending with opening your eyes, and coming back to this place where we're all in relationship with one another. Doing what you need to do, maybe getting a drink or some tea, transitioning to a part where we will be speaking to one another.